The online piano tutor and the online violin tutor. Today is lesson 7 for the violin, where we're going to be going through second finger exercises. So if you're learning from scratch, it would be a really good idea if you followed the other videos first before you kind of jumped into this one. This one might not make sense if it's viewed kind of separately, because it's supposed to be part of a course of lessons that I'm going through. So today is the second finger. So in the previous lesson, where we talked about using the first finger, we did put some marks on the violins, or some stickers on the violin, which hopefully you've got. If you were able to put the first sticker in, that's great. If you could put the second sticker in, which the third finger would go on, that would be good too. And I did explain that in the previous video, lesson 6 it was. I'm not going to go over that now because you can just have a quick look in lesson 6. So if you've got these, the two stickers on here for the first finger and the third finger, go ahead and do that, and then we can get on with lesson 2. So far we've done the 4 open strings, and we've learnt where the notes are on the music. We've also done the first finger on the violin as well, and we've hopefully learnt where those notes are on the music as well. Today we're going to be doing the second finger. Now, the reason why I wanted you to put that third finger dot on was so that if you were just to put the third finger on that dot, where your second finger goes is right behind it. It shouldn't be kind of just a little bit behind it or somewhere in the middle flapping about here. It should be right behind it, so it should be touching it. If I took my third finger away, you'll find that it would be right next door to the blue. Not on the blue, not a little bit on the blue, but literally right next door to the blue. So if you wanted to put your third finger on the blue, put your second finger, crush it in right behind it, take the third finger away, and that's where you can see where your third finger is going to be. So if your first finger, is on the orange dot, or on your first finger line, your second finger is going to be quite a stretch away, I'd say, up to the dot or up to the next line, but not on the next line. And that's where you need to put your second finger when you start to do these second finger exercises. So I'm going to put the sheet in front of you now on the camera and play them through for you. I have put these into a PDF format. Again, I apologise for the lack of imagination with the pieces. These are just something that I just wrote up yesterday for you. So it's really good if you could buy a book that I like to use in my students called Fiddle Time Joggers. It's got a CD in the back of it as well. It goes, the tunes are much more imaginative than mine are. But if you don't want to buy a book, or you can't get hold of a book, or for whatever reason, then you can use these exercises that I've written out for you on this sheet. So this is now going through the second finger. So hopefully you've learned the open strings and you've learned the first finger notes, so we can now just concentrate on the second finger notes. By process of elimination, it'll be any notes that you don't recognise, and that should be the second finger, but we need to start recognising where they are on the string as well. So I've put in a few places where the second fingers are going to be, or where you put the second finger number here, just to help remind you. This one here, it's the closest one to the D string, or the D note we've got here, so we know it's going to be a second finger on the D. This one here is quite close to the open A string, and also the first finger that goes on the A string, so we know it's going to be on the open, we know it's going to be on the A string. This one here is quite high up, process of elimination, is going to be on the E string. That one again, same as that one, it's on the A string. And this one down here is on the G string. The G string ones are kind of easy to remember because they've got all these ledger lines going through them. So I'm going to play these through for you now. This is exercise 1. Exercise 2. Exercise 3. Exercise 4. Exercise 5. exercise 6. I'll play these again to you so you can see my fingers moving on the violin, and that might help you a little bit. So this is exercise 1. Exercise 2. Exercise 3. Exercise 4. Exercise 5. And exercise 6. So I've tried to make them varying degrees of difficulty, but I think once it got to writing the second finger exercises, they were just going to be all as complicated as each other, so I found it quite difficult to start with them easy, getting to hard, because I felt that as we're adding in the fingers, it was much easier to write tunes for you that are a lot more varied, because we're adding in another 4 notes. So we've now got 12 notes in the mix. Plus, I felt that as we're getting more advanced using the fingers as well, we should probably get more advanced using the rhythms. So I wouldn't expect any of you to kind of play exactly as I would, because of course I've got years and years of experience, but hopefully I'm demonstrating to you the final goal, or what you kind of need to achieve, and hopefully by watching me you can mimic what I'm doing, and that will help you in your learning. So don't move on to the next exercise until you've perfected the current exercise that you're on. It might be a really good idea as well to use these videos in conjunction with my theory videos that I'm doing. I've just done a grade 3 theory, and I'm going to be working on grade 4 very, very soon for you guys. And that will help you more with the timing and things. So I've done a lot of explanation on timings. So this seems like a really short video today. But there isn't really anything more to explain. I mean, I've told you how to hold the bow, how to bow on the strings, all that kind of stuff. So really it's now, most of it is just down to you to perfect all those things that I've done. Try not to hit the strings. I think that's the biggest thing that people are having problems with. And you must make sure that your fingers are going exactly in the right place. That is so important. Now we're starting to use more fingers. You can't just slap them down wherever they go, because when these stickers aren't there anymore, how are you going to know where your fingers are? So it's all done by muscle memory. So you'll begin to learn where your fingers are. I obviously don't play with these stickers here. I've put them there for the purpose of you guys for this video today. But how do I know where my fingers go? I don't know. I've just been playing so many years without them, and I've learnt to do that just gradually over the years. So if you train your fingers to go in the wrong place, then that's why your music will sound out of tune, and something won't quite sound right with it. If something doesn't quite sound right with it, it's probably because your fingers aren't in the right place. Maybe you haven't stretched that second finger enough so that it's just under the dot. Maybe it's kind of in the middle somewhere. That's why it's not going to sound right. Or maybe you've overstretched it, or maybe the first finger's moved back or moved up or whatever. So if a lot of it goes down to poor technique, if you're not following the techniques correctly, there's lots of factors into why the music's not going to sound right. It could be because you're hitting the strings. That would be because of the angle of the bow. Your arm isn't in the right angle to, maybe your arm is too far down and you're hitting the string above it, or too high up and you're hitting the string below it. Perhaps you're not bowing on the right, the bow isn't in the right position on the violin. Maybe it's sort of bowing down here or too close to the bridge. That's going to make it sound scratchy. And also if your fingers aren't in the right place on the actual violin, on the dots or on the stickers and things. So keep going with everything. The violin is a very difficult instrument, but honestly, it really does pay off. Any questions, leave them in the comment bar underneath. I'll try and get back to you. I'll have this in PDF format, so and I'll have something scrolling up probably earlier in the video and in the description bar underneath, so that you can print this out. Thank you so much for watching. Please join me for the next lesson and check out my other videos.